Yeah. Welcome to it.
Yeah.
Welcome to it, baby. This is the Welcome to It podcast where we just real people having real conversations, talking about real stuff. Whether you building something, whether you're trying to keep something together, or just really trying to keep the wheels from falling off. I mean, you're in the right place. I go by the name of Leno, and I'm sitting here with the firestorm himself, Jeremy Pape. And so sit back, crack a smile, man, and welcome to it. Today, we got a real dope guest. Go ahead, Pape. Let's introduce our good brother.
Fuck yeah. This is one of my favorite human beings in the world, the legendary John Gray. People might know him as LJ Fresh, the freshest.
Let's go.
Yes, bro. Yes. Dude, we like to kick off this show by just giving you your flowers and just tell you how much I love you. You're one of my favorite people in the industry because in film, you know, it's a lot of jaded curmudgeons kind of complaining about shit. And you have got the joy, bro. You keep my flame going. You keep me inspired. You have a heart of gold and you love people in a way that Jesus does, dude. And I think that that's really admirable in a world right now where that isn't so commonplace. So I look up to you and admire you by the way that you carry yourself, not just as a professional, but as a badass dude. So stoked to have you today, bro.
Man, I can't say thank you enough. Those are very, very kind words coming from a guy who influenced my initial whatever the hell we call this of what we're doing. Man, I looked at you, Pape, a lot when I first got started. So to hear that full circle just fills my cup and my heart, and I'm just glad we get to do this and we stay in touch and send each other bullshit and send each other work. So it's all love, man, and that's all it's ever been.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. You've been this is our first Welcome to It remote interview.
Yeah, man, you cracking out cherry.
So
let's go.
Yeah, so you were out. I met you in Colorado, but now you're in OKC. Tell us, I guess, a little bit about why the hell you moved to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started in Denver, born and raised, grew up there, and then moved to Arizona for a job with a hockey team. And then that hockey team was kind of in the process of moving or being sold. And before any of that went down, I ended up leaving. And I had a little bit of connection. I think it was just 1 degree, me and a boss, and then my guy knew somebody at Oklahoma City, and that kind of helped with my interview. So when I was trying to get out of the NHL, Oklahoma offered me a job in the NBA. And it's just when you get the offer for the pro sports stuff, it's usually can you move in 2 weeks? So it's get it done.
Yeah.
So I got out here real quick. It's a totally different vibe out here though. It's the pace of life is so much slower. There's a lot less going on, and you could say that it's not fun, but there's people here that have lived here for so long that they know what is fun to do, and so you just gotta know what really is out here. And
all right, put us on game.
It's not bad.
What's fun to do?
Come on, man, share something. It's gotta be storm chasing. Come on,
storm chasing, cow tipping.
It's gotta be number one.
Yeah,
bro. There's people that come from all over the country here to do that. It blows my mind. The game, that's a whole nother game in itself.
Yeah.
We're not even can you do it, but it's celebrity type status of tiers of oh, you're on this news team or you're on this storm chaser team, and
is it like Twister? Have you seen the new Twister?
Dude, I honestly could not bring myself to the theater to watch that when it was happening in my backyard.
Right. He's no, I'm good. Something else.
Yeah,
I just opened the door. In that movie though, there's a social media influencer storm chaser.
Yeah.
Are those real?
Really?
Is that a real thing?
Oh yeah, dude. It's so real to the point where the people that are working for the news station will bag the people that are like the freelancers, and like the freelancers are like digging on them. They're like, no, they don't give you the true information like we do, and it's wild, bro.
Yo,
Man,
that's insane. But you're happy there. You found a good tribe. What is it like? You know,
Yeah.
you're a big community person. I know you had a plethora of people that loved and adored you, and vice versa here. How do you build community in a place that you're kind of just dropped into?
Yeah. First of all, I wouldn't have stayed here as long as I have if there weren't good people here.
Mm.
And so like the vibe here is very Southern hospitality, like take care of people, pull off on the side of the highway, help you change your tire, say please and thank you. Like it's very nice to live in a place where people are conscious of being polite, and that's all it is it's not anything crazy. I don't think there's like a lot of people say the Bible Belt effect going on here. There's a lot of churches and but I don't think it's like forced upon you down here. Like it's just people who are genuinely good.
yeah,
And so it's easy to build community with people like that. Like they welcome you in with open arms and teach you about all the things. So like all my guys at work, as corny as it is, like we have a chat and that chat blows up all the time on like a personal level. So like we work on stuff all the time, but even like right now it's like blowing up about like what's going on with the weather, and it's like take care of yourself though. It's not even like on some like funny stuff. It's
yeah.
like, yo, this is funny, but like for
Oh, for
real,
real.
like
Get to a safe place.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like we worry about you. So and like they know I'm new, so I'll get like
yeah,
every new like tip that I need to know, which is like go in the storm shelter when they tell you. Uh, don't when they're like saying that it's really bad, because it's really not.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
but like the community here is so family oriented that it was easy when they were so welcoming about
for
it.
sure. I was gonna say, man, when Pape was giving you your flowers, and then you in turn turned around and gave him his, of just like how he's kind of been like, somewhat of a mentor to you, right? And then from there, just the relationship from you going from AZ to getting to Oklahoma, and then now being in a space where you just made a comment of just like you wouldn't be here so long if it wasn't for the community around you. So my question to you is like, how important is relationships, good, healthy ones for you, just in general, right? Like, how important is that to you, just in life, bro?
I think it's everything. Like I think relating to people is something that I have a talent to do, and it's a God given talent.
Yeah,
But it comes with responsibility too. Like with the ability to listen also gives you the new responsibility of taking action.
Mm.
And so like at what level do you decide to take action? And if it's none, then I think that's a poor effort on your part to use your talent as a listener.
yeah,
So I think just relationships have got to be everything, and they don't come by easy for me, but when it's right, they're easy to like continuously build on
yeah,
versus struggling to make something happen with somebody who doesn't bring to the table what you're looking for.
yeah.
So I just, like you're saying, like navigate towards people like that in the situations that are easier to maneuver in,
Right,
because those are the spaces you're supposed to be
for
in.
sure. Yeah,
Can we let's go back to your adventure to Arizona first? I bet young directors and camera ops and videographers all over would be interested to hear, because you were doing your own thing and freelancing and had you were doing great, really, and then you got an opportunity. How did you get that opportunity, and then what made you decide, you know what, I'm going to commit to making videos for one thing?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think a lot of people that I grew up with were just general sports fans. And so I grew up in like a sports environment at all times. Um, like the Broncos won the Super Bowl when I was 12. So the world was like insane, awesome that my football team won the Super Bowl. So I love sports. I was doing the video stuff, and had found my way towards the music video stuff, and that's where I kind of like ran into Pape, and we're in the same spaces and world doing the freelance music video. But I got offered to do a video for the Colorado Mammoth, a lacrosse team, and I went out, shot the video, edited. And like while I was editing, it just like there's some of those edits, Pape, you probably know this, like that you put together that they're tedious and they take a long time, but they like almost put themselves together just because like of how much you love the project.
Totally.
So like that night I like cooked this project and sent it to them, and they were like super stoked on it. And then COVID like hit that next day.
Oh,
I
shit.
think it might have been that day or the next day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild, like wild timing. But like in the next 2 or 3 days, I was just like, yo, that like the feeling that I got of making that video was just everything that I wanted out of like filling my cup of doing something professional, but also loving it. And so I was like, I have to figure out a way to make this happen more often, because it's just too natural to like leave and go back to doing all the music videos, because I love the music videos, but the sports was like really clicking for me because of my passion for most sports, like basketball, football, hockey, baseball. Basically, we had all of them when I was growing up here, or when I was growing up in Denver. And we just got the Rockies when I was a kid. So just so prevalent to mix like your two passions was crazy that you could take one world and the other. And even better, that's what like made me a little bit more dangerous in that world of like, there were sports videographers, but then I was like this music videographer who was trying to get a sports job. And so I got like a lot of questions and looks and interviews. And finally Arizona hit me up and they were like, we like the music video stuff. Come out here and do it. And it starts in 2 weeks and our season already started. So
Got to hit the
come
ground
through
running.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
But it was exciting because it was like, I knew I loved sports so much that I was going to be fine going into that profession. Like having to touch that kind of footage all day
Yeah.
didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. And you said something that I thought is like super important, I think for any age, but especially when you're coming up, is like, you never know what project or something that you're working on is going to like lead to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're just like in your case, you were happy to do it, but like, you just never know who's watching. And like, you know, you got to practice like you play kind of thing where it's like,
Yep.
you got to go 110% for
All the times.
Yeah. So that you can keep pulling those threads and unlocking those doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What within all that, man, because I know like that world you're in, it's very like time consuming, could be taxing, right? Like what is something that you do to like rest and reset, right? Like what does that look like for you?
Yeah, man, I'm getting old. I was gonna say we're getting old, but
We are.
all of us.
We are.
So it used to be like, you know, go to a concert or go out and hang out with friends and just like really get that time of just being in the moment somewhere that's not at work. And I still like to do that every once in a while, but now that I'm older, man, it's reading. Like,
Yeah.
Tight.
there's just so much information that you can consume, and whether it's information or like entertainment, you can add so much more value to your life in that time with like reading. And so it's just cool to get into certain topics that have nothing to do with what you do at work.
Pull you away
Totally.
from all of that, right? Yeah, nah.
What are you reading right now?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Or what did you just
I'm reading a book called Chaos.
Oh yeah.
I got into Yeah, I got into the whole like espionage, CIA.
Totally.
Before I read Chaos, I can't remember the name of this book before, but it's a huge like expose all of how the CIA has like messed up so many operations, and it just like started turning the wheels in my head. And so
Now you a part-time conspiracy theorist?
bro, it's
Yeah.
comical to think
Bro.
about. Yeah, it's hard. I am one of those now. Yeah.
It's hard not to be though. Once
It's
you
hard.
like,
Yeah, once you ask you like it's like when you put those glasses on to see shit beyond what they put in front of you, you can't unsee it. And it's almost like, damn.
it's like the book or in the Bible when they talk about eating the fruit.
Yeah, man.
The tree.
Fruit,
You're
yeah,
like, shit.
you can't put it back. You can't stuff that back in. So
Yeah.
now you look at everything, you doubling down like, I've read about this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm not getting my acid in San Francisco. You're not gonna trick me, dude.
Chill, man.
I totally agree, though. One thing that because I'm an avid reader as well, as is Lance, and you know, this might sound douchey, but like I think that like the most interesting people are readers to have conversations with, just because they like. Not that you're necessarily smarter, but you just have a bigger perspective of the world. And even just like reading words, you know, you have to like learn new words or understand how these concepts work together. And I think that like makes you a more valuable player in the workforce, but in life in general.
I mean, it definitely makes you more interesting because, I mean, you got, you know what I mean? Like, it breaks you out of just this one thing that you're great at, right? Like videos or making music. It's like, there's layers to who you are as a person. So it's like, I know for me, books become addicting because you like, it's the knowledge end of it. It's like, I want to know stuff, man. Like, and I want to, and even if I don't agree with what I'm reading, I still would like to even know other people's perspectives of just like, that's interesting, right? Like,
totally.
But within that, like, you can become a student and then you can pull a piece, you can pull the parts that you like, right, out of that text. So I think reading is fundamental for sure.
I remember it was a really big book in like the early 2000s, The 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah, I'm actually rereading that one right now.
That's and perfect. I read it and I was like, this is a terrible book. It's like just teaches you how to be a bad guy.
And how to be manipulative.
Yeah. But then you read it and you're like, okay, but now I can at least like identify the bad guys. Yes. You're like, oh, you're just doing number 43.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. No. Don't say nothing nice to me anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for sure. That's crazy.
You definitely get the vibe that you know something that other people don't when you finish some of the like historical books. And it's insane that it's not taught in school,
right?
The way it happened, because you can go look up the sources of where they're getting this information. And
right.
Like, very credible information. Not just making it up.
Yeah, I mean,
but very different than what we learned in school. And it sounds so cliche to say that, but it's so true. Not like nothing that I've touched in some of these books were spoken ever in a classroom. Because if they were, I'd have been interested.
Right?
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want you to be that. We know we need you to go do this.
Yeah.
We want you to know this instead of what.
Right. Like, man,
might have happened.
Okay, so speaking of that, man, I know you love what you do, but if you could job swap with anybody for like a day, right? What would you do? Who would you swap with? What would you do?
Yeah, shoot. I've said recently stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
give me
your best joke.
I was gonna say you got to take.
No, I don't have a quick 10 yet. No. But I say that because it's just like in the moment when things are happening, and maybe this comes from like working in a very corporate space for 8 hours a day where it's very robotic, but like some of the cuts that me and a buddy make at work is just too much. Like it's enough that like I'm rolling, he's rolling, and I'm like, dude, this is savage.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I mean, the best comedians are.
And we're at like a time where people are like a little bit done with everybody being super sensitive. Yeah. So like a little bit of more people are coming out of the woodwork. Like, it's okay to be this funny.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're not being like negative or really taking people down, people are seeming to open up to that world. And honestly, like that show Kill Tony is crushing right now. That podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious to watch people bomb too.
Yeah.
And so just that whole environment of comedy seems very athletic to me, in the sense of like who's the best, who has a name, who's big and with a brand, and who's just like up and coming and trying to break into it. It's very like sports-esque in the sense of competition. But I think everybody that is doing that stuff in Texas right now, the new center of comedy, and so it would be crazy to just move your whole life down to Austin and try and gig and make it happen.
Yeah,
man,
dude.
Speaking of Austin and comedy, man, I went down there for the solar eclipse, that was last year, and we shot some content, right? But then that night we ended up going to a comedy club, and man, these dudes were bombing, bro. And the reason they were bombing is because I was the only black dude in the audience. So everybody's jokes were black jokes. And I'm just like, come on, man, if you're going to do it for real. Like, give me some good stuff. Like, make it funny. Don't just use the typical black dude jokes. I'm like, make it stick. So it became a point in the audience where, like, I became a heckler because I was actually being targeted. And I had everybody there cracking the fuck up. And this one, the last dude, they pulled it was a security guard. So it was like, he gonna get you, right? So they get him up on stage and he's going crazy. He's trying to get me. And I'm just like, I said, bro, just say it. He was like, say what? I said, we know you want to say it. I said, just say it. It would be funnier if you just say it. He's like, I'm not going to say it. You can't make me say it. I was like, bro, we know you want to say the N-word. Just fucking say it and we can get it over with. And man, it was such an experience though, right? And I'm just like, I'm hearing you say that shit. I'm just like, yeah, man, like, I like a good comedian. Like, all my favorites were like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Richard Pryors, Eddie Murphy when he first got going, Bernie Macs, you know what I'm saying? The Jim Carreys, the Robin Williams in the beginning of they shit. And it's just like, just push the line, bro. If you want to be funny is for real. Like, you have to be for real to be funny. And so like, I'm enjoying the fact that people are like, getting out of that of just like the whole sensitive shit of just like, oh, you shouldn't say that. You're going to offend somebody. Then you shouldn't be in this fucking room, bro.
Well, also don't say the N-word. Yeah.
I mean, that was the joke, right? Because I knew he wasn't going to say it. He wasn't going to fucking say it. But it got,
don't encourage it.
But it got worse. I'm going to tell you this, the worst part. They got a black dude up there, right? And I was like, okay.
See what he's got.
Yeah, he got up there and instantly he was talking, he was gay, right? He identified as a gay black man. And so he was like, oh, y'all got R. Kelly up here. I said, this the best y'all got? Y'all gonna get a gay black dude? And man, the crowd went fucking crazy. I'm like, y'all gotta do better than the gay black dude, man. Come on, man. Yeah. Give me a challenge. We got fucked up that night, too. They was feeding us drinks, but it was like, man, thank y'all so much. Like, it was all love at the end of it, you know what I mean? But it's funny. Austin, great place.
Like, that's another fun thing about comedy is like you can just talk shit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Shit talking. I like that job for you too, man. For a day.
Roasting is appreciated. And I feel like when you're with the boys or like setting up a set or whatever, like everyone's getting roasted.
Totally.
Right?
Totally, yeah. Everyone can get it.
Yeah.
Everyone can get it.
We've all got practice. Yeah.
One dude was reading jokes out of his phone. They was like, bro, come on, man. He's knocking out jokes. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. You can't be reading this.
That's great.
Great shit.
Yeah. Oh shit. We got a sick sponsor, Eureka Vape. Yeah. Loyal to the oil. I got one in my pocket, but our segment with them, we want to just shout them out.
Shout out Eureka.
What is your recent or past Eureka moment? Something that you learned that you didn't know you needed to learn.
Yeah.
And while you're thinking about it.
While you're thinking about it.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
What flavor are you doing?
Mine's empty.
You did yours already. Dang.
Hey, shout out Eureka, man. Yeah. We love it.
We love it. What you got for us?
Let's go. I think Eureka moment probably in the past was getting into the sound design world of the videos, because I put so many videos together that were just visuals and an audio track.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it came from like seeing it in another video or just like seeing those screenshots of people's timelines in Premiere where they're stacked with
Totally.
sound design. But that was definitely like an aha moment for me.
Yes.
And I say like eureka because it brings, if you're not doing that, you need to do that because it brings you into that next level of production.
100%. That sound design always reminds me of one of my favorite music videos was ASAP Ferg, Floor Seats. And it's like, maybe I'll just drop a little clip of it because the sound design is so crazy and it's a music video, right? So you think we wouldn't need sound design for a music video, but it's like, fuck. It's like, you're right. It's like just those like little, it's like the salt and pepper to it that you're like, this could be a very bland piece or it could just make you come in your pants.
Yeah.
You know? Love a good come in the pants joke.
Not if you don't have another pair of pants to put on, babe. I don't like that.
26 minutes in and we got one.
New record.
New record. Eureka. No, I'm just playing. No.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you had something along.
No.
Okay.
Along with coming in my pants.
Like, how did we segue from that?
Yeah.
Shit, bro. God damn, man. All right, John. What is something that you wish more people either knew about you or asked you, so that way you could tell them about this cool thing about yourself or interesting fact about who you are, man?
Yeah. I would say that, and it's on me as well, but just speaking about how much this is a God-given talent.
Yeah. I love that.
This is something that comes from God and that I've chosen to pay attention to and follow what he wants for me, and walking in that path versus hoping to get the next big celebrity or the next big music video. I started realizing my success came from like what was in front of me, because that's what God was putting in front of me. And so it's just important to talk about like having faith like that. And just a bigger part of what a lot of people are doing. And if you're successful, you should definitely share that part of your journey, because that's what it's all about, is getting more people to not be a part of the church and follow the word of God, but just seeing what God can do for your life and letting people turn to God in their own way. And they'll do that by watching you.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I love that, man.
Truly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the best answer we've ever gotten. I swear to.
Truly. Yeah, it's really how do you make on a daily basis, what does that look like that you're keeping the faith and walking?
Spiritual exercise.
Yeah. What are your spiritual exercises? That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, like a daily devotional is really important. It's just kind of a practice that you can get into to wake up in the morning and read something that's not straight from the Bible, but it tells a true story and a true application, and it's really short, but it really gets your mind going. And I like to open that before I even touch my phone now, because it just guides my thoughts towards that, and it's just so much more high priority for me now than to see like what's going on in an email.
Yeah,
totally.
So I think the daily devotional is really important, and then I think like it's cliche to say, but prayer is important. But I think people think that they have to pray in a certain way.
Yeah.
And if they're not doing it right,
it's not working right.
Then they can't do it. Then like they can't do it. I think it's important to have like a conversation with God, like we're having right now, which is back and forth. Like this hurts, this sucks. I know God doesn't like cussing, but I've told him that this is shit before, and like it's just a real conversation. And so to keep that cadence real that conversation candid is like so important.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good piece of game. Because I too, man, that is my relationship with God, right? It's a very, I'm not gonna say on the level of like homeboy, because I don't want to reduce God in any facet, right? But it is a very father-son, right? Like me and my dad have a great relationship, and it's because he allows me to be able to say what I gotta say from a raw place, and him not like, I'm about to chastise you because you're talking like this, versus like he just listens to me. So my relationship with God is the same way, right? Like I just speak to him in the space of like if I was talking to my dad, right? Still in the space of respect, but it's just like, hey man, I really need some help, bruh. What's up? Like I'm feeling shitty and I need you to put the rails up, put your arms around me because I don't know what I'm about to do, right? And I think to your point of just like so people can know like there is no right or wrong way. I just think you just have to get started, and then that relationship just matures the more you do it. Then you start to figure like, especially when you start to see results from your prayer, you start to see like, oh look, God's showing up. I prayed about this, and look, there's an opportunity, and this and this that, and so then you start to get more refined in it. But I just encourage people to just start, bro. Just start talking, and if you don't know how to talk, write it down. Like I think that's the thing too. People are like, you can pray through writing. Like there's all different type of ways, you know.
Painting,
Yeah,
making a video of yourself.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think the easiest way is to tell people that they can invite God into their life, and it can stop right there.
Totally.
That like you can just literally just ask God
Come
to
in.
be in your life, and that'll start the process.
Yes, sir.
Totally.
Amen.
Totally. And one thing that I've been really enjoying learning is like the listening portion of prayer. You know, like so often for me it's either like a lot of gratitude and asks and wants as well, but like really learning how and when I can either hear or receive those lessons that I have been praying for, or trying to like learn and identify like, oh, that thing that really just pissed me off was actually my answer. I was just praying for empathy. And then I just had a conversation with somebody who I was like, you're a fucking idiot. And it's like, oh no, that's not what I'm supposed to think. Empathy. Gosh, dang it. Why am I being? Yeah, totally. Yeah. Sure. What are some ways that like, how do you practice listening to answers or even appreciate or learning how to notice God showing up in your life?
Yeah, I think we touched on it a little bit, but it's just like, not if something's easy, but if it's natural and it feeling good in your heart, you should follow that. And it sounds so corny to follow your heart, but like we all know those moments, whether it's like buying something that you shouldn't buy because you don't really have the bread for it at the moment.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it.
Like those little like inklings that you have in your heart that say just don't right now. I really feel like those are like the word, and you got to really like pay attention to some of that, because those restraints are, like you're saying, like they're not really restraints, they're just the path to the actual way you should be getting there.
Yeah. Geez Louise, it's so shitty to be like, it's so obvious and you like know all that shit, but then like to live it out.
It's nothing easy about it. I was on the phone, I forget who I was talking to, it might have been my mom, but it turned into, we almost started having church on the phone, and I was just like, I said, Mom, you know what I'm starting to realize is that people may think, and I'm like, and I probably have been guilty of this at some point, but of just like thinking to choose God or to serve God is something that's easy, right? Like I think so often in life, like we kind of get caught up on just like, I'm looking for something easier. I need easy and easy. And it's just like, there is no easy way. Whatever route you choose, you're going to be faced with some type of adversity, some type of, you got to pick yourself up. You got to keep pushing. Like there's just always going to be this thing. So like, I just like to remove that fact of just like, or that concept that people think, oh, like, well, because I choose to follow God or I choose to pray that my life is somehow easier. And it's like, it actually isn't. It's probably a lot harder, because now, just like reading those conspiracy books and all these things, like your eyes get open to things, your heart gets open to more things, and then you really start to see yourself in stuff and you like, damn, I'm kind of a mess. And it's the hardest thing to do is to look at yourself and to follow Christ or to pick up some type of religion or spirituality. Is like, it becomes a journey of like a lot of hardships and shit, bro. You're like, damn, I actually want to go back to sometimes just being dumb, right? That was easy. Being dumb was kind of easy because I didn't even know.
It wasn't my fault.
I didn't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, being a baby rules.
For sure.
All right, let me get one of these off real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I liked this one. Yeah. If your life had a soundtrack, what would be the opening song?
Come on now.
Or even this is a better question for you. If you're a professional wrestler, what's your walkout song?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
bro.
that's a John Gray question.
That song is hard. Holy cow, bro.
I wrote a song for a wrestler, by the way. But
yeah, did you know that?
Talk about that real quick.
So I got this dude I went to high school with. He writes the scripts for AEW, and Bobby Lashley was coming over leaving from WWE to go to AEW, and it was like this surprise thing. And so he was like, man, it's kind of low key. Nobody knows about it yet. He said, and he was like, you still making music? I was like, yeah. He was like, bro, would you be down to write his new theme song? I'm like, hell yeah. Like, as a kid, I loved wrestling, right? Like, was a fanatic. So it was almost like a full circle moment. And so, but it was tough because I'm thinking about writing songs about all my favorite wrestling moves and wrestlers. Then they sent me the script. They was like, yeah, he don't want you to say none of that. You can't say nothing about wrestling. Bring up no wrestlers quotes. You can't. I'm like, damn. So then I'm like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And so they gave me the words to write. They was like, it's got to be stuff about pain, hurting people, dominating. And so they gave me they sent the actual track on Wednesday. They needed the song by Saturday. So Thursday, I wrote the song. Friday, I went to the studio, but I wrote it from a space of just like, the song was called Hurt You, right? And I was just like, I just thought about if I was a wrestler, like I would want the hardest shit to come out to.
Yeah.
And I just wrote a fucking violent ass song.
Yeah.
And then I played it for my kids because I was like, yo, this is so corny because, I mean, I'm not a gangster rapper. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not none of that, right? So I had to step outside of myself. And so after I wrote it, I played it for my daughters, and they was just smiling the whole time. I'm like, so the song ended, I'm like, what y'all think? Like, they was like, nah, Dad, it's funny because hearing you talk like that, like, rah, 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 rah. And it was like, but it's hard because they was like, this is going to fit the bill for a wrestler in the wrestler community. Yeah. And so, man, I was able to write my first placement, and I wrote that fool's current theme music, and that was fucking crazy.
Don't call him a fool. He'll body slam.
Yeah, no, not that fool. The champs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bobby. She's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta say, for a walk-up song, like, just because I'm a sports guy, when you say walk-up song, that brings me back to when Coors Field was originally built.
Okay.
And I'm in there listening to Larry Walker, number 33, step up to bat, and they play Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And it's a track from the 80s, but this thing knocks. It starts with like a high horn and drops down into like da-na-na, da-na, boom. Yeah. And I'll never forget being like 7 or 8 and just feeling that song in my blood. So I have to steal Larry Walker's track and say that it's Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, what would your wrestler name be though? It's fuck the song.
Oh, what you going by, baby? I gotta go fresh.
What is it?
I gotta go fresh, like something, anything.
Yeah, stay with
it. Do.
Yeah, I like
to keep the nickname. But I definitely had some Halloweens of like, because I knew wrestlers, like where I was like, hey, let me borrow your gear. And I would show up to Halloween parties in like full ass gear. And people were like, yo, there's not a costume competition, but you finna win it. Yeah.
You got Jake the Snake stack with the snakes in it. Yeah. What you got? Hulk Hogan's bandana?
Come on here, brother.
Bro, I got to take pictures of Jake. I forget where, but I think I drove like 3.5 to 4 hours to the middle of nowhere to get him.
That's hard.
And he had a real snake and everything. And he came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So like he must have been, because he passed, I think in the last year. But he must have had like a plug in every state that
snakes.
he was gigging in, and was like, "I'm coming to pick the snake up."
Yo,
That's crazy. Jake the Snake was on my
That
favorite
was an
WWE,
incredible
bro.
experience.
that's really
Yeah, because as a kid, I was like, "Yo, I've seen this dude. Like, this is the bad guy.
Yeah,
Like, you gotta
seriously.
watch out for this dude."
yeah. Was he nice in real life?
I didn't have that much interaction with him, but from what I've heard, he like was very down to business
Yeah.
in the locker room. He was only really ever open his heart to like family and friends. Those guys live a really tough life, so you can't shade them for living however
Yeah.
they choose, because it's such a fucked up life.
Yeah, that's wild. Man, that's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Hit me with the I think hit me with the welcome to it.
Yeah, man. All right. So this segment of the show, man, is where we like to talk about what your welcome to it moment was, right? So this could be anything, right, in your life, childhood, adulthood, current space, of just like, what was a moment that you felt like, oh, John L. Fresh has arrived, or I'm here, I'm where I'm supposed to be in this moment. What was your welcome to it moment, or one of?
Yeah. Well, my original answer was just mixing the music video and the sports world was like that was a huge moment for me to realize that was a powerful thing. So I'll answer with a different answer now, and not a flex, because by no means did I do this by myself, but winning an Emmy last year with the Coyotes was something that makes you feel as a profession or a professional justified in what you're doing. It's just one of like, it's not one of those pay money to go to a video festival and hope that you win based on how many people. Like, we are really proud to get an Emmy. So just like the amount of phone calls and like love that I got on social, and it just made me feel so loved, and it was everything, and it had nothing to do with like the actual award. It had everything to do with like who I got it with, like the guys that worked on the crew. I'll never forget like who and how it came about, and then like the way it reconnected me with so much of my family, that it was just like, I know they're proud of me, but to hear it and to have people like show it on their own, man, just fills your heart.
It lets you know, like, everything I've done up until this point was for a reason, right? And you still got more room to grow, man. You still going. Hope you get 10 more of those and whatever else you want.
Right.
And that's why like we're part of the same tribe, because a lot of people and even family are like, that's awesome, you did it, yay, and now it's over. But like, sitting in this room, I know that makes 3 more guys hungrier than they've ever been. So I love being in rooms that you can get a little bit of love for what you've done, but then people are more anticipating what's next for you, because there is more greatness to be had.
For sure, bro.
Yeah. I love that.
And I feel that I feel that way about you guys for sure. I just want to make sure both of you know that that's how I feel about both of you guys.
Man, love. Feelings mutual, brother.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, dude. Well, this is you're the fucking man.
Without a doubt.
We're so thank you for taking time out of your firestorm to join us.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dude, of course, we're surviving. I don't know if you can tell the light's a little red, but like we definitely got
I can
like
see it. I like in your glasses. It's like,
going on right now.
Hot up in there.
There might be flames on the other side of the window. I don't know.
Damn, it's crazy. Like a real wrestler, for real.
Yeah.
Got the fire going on, got the song playing.
Snakes are coming out of the kitchen, bro.
Yeah, buddy. Sledgehammer.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah,
but
man.
yeah, honestly, dude, so fucking proud of you. I adore keeping up with you. I love you to death. And just can't wait for the next chapter, dude. You're gonna continue to do incredible things, and you're gonna continue to inspire generations of people to be great at what they do, and also to do it with a fucking great heart, which I think is the most important thing.
Most important.
Dude, two things before we go. I'll never forget getting to shoot behind the scenes for your guys' music video, for Leno's
Let's talk
video.
about that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Probably like definitely one of the major point in my career of seeing like two guys put together something that was just like, just do it instead of making sure it was the most professional whatever.
Right.
It was like, just go have fun. And we had a
We had a
blast.
blast,
Totally,
bro.
yeah.
I'll never forget that day, and I'm glad that I have the footage that I have and that the music video is as cool as it is. So thank you for letting me be a part of that and this podcast. And second, I got to get with you to book some studio time because me and Julox got to get in there and knock out a
Fuck
couple
yeah.
tracks. So,
What's up with
yeah,
you staying in touch with Julox?
Bro, like, I got a phone call like 2 weeks ago, just being like, I'm doing music. I got this album. I need videos. And I was just like, oh, bro's like back.
Fuck
So
yes.
he just dropped a music video. It's like studio mic style video. It was really cool.
Dope.
But it's just nice to see him doing music because we all know that he loves doing that.
So-
And I think he's got a completely different message to deliver. And it's really cool the way we're talking about God here. It's really cool to hear that type of context come into music. So
100%.
check that out.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah. We'll tell him I said what's up.
Julox.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out Julox.
For real.
Yeah, we'll be through there. We just got to get done with this NBA season, and then as soon as we're done, I'm up there.
Fuck yeah.
Shit, yeah.
I got a room for you to crash.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
All right, brother, man. Peace, bro. Much love to you.
All right,
Welcome
boys.
to it.
Welcome
Catch
to
you
it.
next
Love you guys.
Friday. Get some more gems next
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Love.
Peace.
What do I do? Do I
What up,
stay
though?
on?